Hi everyone, it is Natalie from Being Intentionally Creative. This video was not going to be done this way. I had another technical glitch. I'd done a video using my video camera, and for whatever reasons, parts that I had done, there was no sound. Only the last part where I was actually taking the piece out of the mold could you hear me speaking. I've never done a voiceover. I really don't want to go down that road. I just decided that this was the way you were going to get this, because another glitch for me is, because I had thought this was all going to work out, the mold that I was using originally now has resin in it. I can't show it to you because the resin's setting, and it won't be available to me till tomorrow. We're going to do it this way. Makes it fun, makes it what it is. These are the things, these are the technical difficulties that perhaps others run into just like me. So you'll get the video this way. We had talked about my rose mold that I have, the Celebrated that I got at Michael's Canada, and you had seen this piece that I had done. Oops, as it starts to break, and that's okay because I want to get rid of that part of it anyway. I had used a gold and I had used the interference blue on this piece, and mixed mold had been used to pour, and we were looking to get it black, not this marble gray that I've got. But someone had given me a suggestion on how perhaps we could get a darker color, and that'll be in an upcoming video. Because I had done this, I also decided I wanted to do a pour with the mixed mold to do the whole silicone mold of roses. That's what I did. What I did was I used the colors of the rainbow, and I used the Let's Resin pigment powders that I have, and they're all the Let's Resin pigment powders that I used. We have green, we have dark violet, we have blue, we have yellow, tangerine, crimson. And those were the colors that I decided to use. Because I dare to be different, because I don't like doing things the way everybody else does them, I mixed up the colors. When I say I mixed up the colors, I didn't go red, orange, yellow, green, dot, 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 dot. What I did was I threw the colors wherever I wanted them to go. And this is what I ended up with. I just randomly put the colors down because, as I say, I dare to be different, and I didn't want it all symmetrical. I wanted it all over the place, and that's what I ended up with. When I originally poured this, I poured 60 mils in, thinking that might be enough. It was not. I actually needed 90 mils to complete this piece. Because it was 90 mils, I let it sit for an hour and a half before I took it out of the mold. The back isn't exactly flat as I would like it to be. Because I had poured the 60 mils and then did another 30 on top of that, I hit the mold on the sides to try and balance it down. I used a scraper to sort of smooth it out. And if you've ever used something like mixed mold and you don't have enough and then you go to put more on top, unlike a resin that will sort of level itself out, this doesn't. So I had to be very careful that when I was leveling it out, I didn't, dig into what had already been poured. I was very careful about that, and I actually poured a little bit over the edge of the mold. So I used another tool to scrape down the side so it wasn't overflowing and I wouldn't have to fix that later. What is a little unfortunate with this is, and I don't know if you can see, so I'm just going to bring it right up, is you might be able to notice that there are some spots, and I'm just going to get my finger right there, where you can see white, where I think what happened was the mixed mold didn't get into the crevices the way a resin might, or I poured it too fast and I just didn't bang it enough to get the bubbles out. One of the things that you'll get with this type of product is you want to get it into as many of the crevices as you can so you don't get air bubbles occurring, or you have it that it just didn't get into spots, so there's nothing there and it looks worn, which I don't really mind. I'm okay with that. I am debating. I can see a bit of a shine to this because of the mica powder that it's picked up, which I like. Because the white is so dominant, I can see it. I'm wondering what I want to put over top of this so that I hide it so it's not as in your face. You could look at this as being antiquish. Not a word, I've just made it up. Antiquish. There you go, your new word of the day. And I had thought, I was wondering what kind of wash, and as I'm talking to you now, because I couldn't think of it before, I wonder about a tea bag wash on top of this. I let this sit for a couple of days, and then I take a tea bag and I sort of run it over to give it, one, to hopefully get into those little spots that are white, but also sort of to give it a bit of a antique-y look, antiquish look, call it what you will. That might work. I was thinking of a wash and I wasn't sure what kind of a wash I wanted to do, but that might work. I also have some products by Ranger, and I wonder about using one of the brushes I have, and then I have sort of a tea-like dioxide that maybe I could just sort of very carefully, not heavy-handed, but very carefully put over top of this. What else I kind of wondered about with this piece was, what could I do with it? Now, I had talked about if you did a resin box, you could put these on something like this on the side. And that's another reason I did the full piece like I did. That's an option. I had thought that maybe what you could use it for is a coaster. But you'd have to be really careful with that, because even if you seal it up, because some of these spots are fragile, what I would consider fragile, is it going to get banged around? Are you going to end up chipping it when you put your cups down on it? I also thought of it potentially just being a wall, part of a wall hanging. You could hang it by itself. And again, as I start thinking, I think about a pitcher box, and I don't know if that's the right term, but putting this inside as a pitcher within a pitcher, if that makes sense. The box is that what you would hang a jersey inside of to protect it. That's sort of the idea I'm thinking of perhaps for this. I did like the idea of it being a wall hanging, just something simple, discreet on your wall. I thought that might be kind of cool. Definitely would want to seal it. Regardless of what I do with it, I would want to seal it. And I like the randomness of the color. I like that I didn't make this like start red here and then work my way down to the dark violet at the bottom. To me, that would have been boring to me. However, as Tim Holtz would say, you do you. Whatever you think would look best. Again, because of the mica powder that was still in the mold, I have added some more mica powder, and I've used a black resin to cover it, because I kind of want to see, again, I want to see how it's going to look. And maybe what you could do, depending on how it turns out, you know, you could put the two of them on a wall side by side and do it that way. If I were to use this as a coaster, I would want to level out the back, just because it is uneven. It's not going to sit flat. It'll sit relatively flat on a table, but not as flat as I would like it. I would also, because I've just had a couple of pieces, I would trim this down along the sides so that there weren't pieces sort of crumbling off of it later on. I would love to know what you think of this. I would love to know your ideas for what you would use this for if you had made it. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if, you know, what colors would you do, or just you've seen it now completely done. What other ideas does it give you? Something I'm just, again, things just pop into my head. What I'm thinking about is if I did two, like I say, I have multiple molds. They're this size, but with different designs in them. What if we were to take this design and a different one and then glue the two together? Now, that makes it more interesting as to what could you potentially do with it. Again, you could use it as a coaster for, you know, teacups, or you could put a flower vase on top of it and you could flip it back and forth. So that might be something I think about doing, is taking another one and doing it and then seeing if I can put them together. That might be hard to do because this isn't completely flat. Potential's there though. And that's what I want you to start thinking about in your creative practices, in your creative art, whatever you get up to. As you're doing it, I'm hoping there are going to be ideas that sort of fall out and you go, oh yeah, what about this or what about that? And that's why I share sort of these ideas that pop into my head, because I want you to see that there are multiple ways. Another thing that just popped into my head is, what if I decoupage the back of that? And again, you could have a double-sided coaster. So imagine a beautiful floral something or other, or a scene if it were to go this way. Or you could take vinyl and do something, if you have a Cricut, do something on that and put it on here and then cover it in resin. There are no end to the possibilities with pieces like this, what you could do. Again, I think your biggest challenge is going to be, how are you going to use it so it doesn't get damaged? Because this one has, you know, spots where the mixed mold didn't go, I can make it look antique-ish, and if I put a sealant on it, which I absolutely want to do, then it can become something old and antique-ish. I kind of like the idea of trying the tea bag on it to see if it'll work. I'll probably check some YouTube videos out to see how to do a wash on it without, I don't want to lose my coloring because it's pastel-y and light, but what if? What if? That's all I've got. I really wish the video had worked because I had other things I'd talked about in it, but that's okay. I work with what I can work with. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having a brilliantly creative day. I hope it's beautiful weather wherever you are. Comment below with any ideas you have. Like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you back here again soon. Take care and bye for now. I wanted to do a follow-up with the rose pattern resin piece I had done. I had indicated in the first part of this video I couldn't show you because it was curing. It has not completely cured. Okay, I'm one of these bad people who sometimes I take pieces out sooner than I should. However, it's cured enough that I was able to take it out. And I wanted to show you how it turned out. And here it is. I just want to try and get the light on it. But you'll notice, and I'm going to probably take pictures of this outside so you can get a better idea. I use black resin for the background, and it's much different looking color-wise than what the one is that I used, the mixed mold. Does it surprise me a little bit? I had hoped maybe that the red would come out more vibrant than it has. The purple and the blue definitely have come out. The yellow and the green have sort of, they're there. They're very subtle. The black has definitely dominated the color of them. But what a change from doing one with resin with a black background to this one that I use the white mixed mold and the mica powder. So a totally different look. Again, I think I'll take these outside and get a picture of them so we can see the colors a little bit better. But I wanted to show you how this piece turned out. Again, I'm really pleased with, as much as this is very dark, I am very pleased with how things are turning out because of the way the colors are playing with each other. That's how you figure out whether you want to do something similar in the future or whether you go down a totally different pathway. What would have happened had I put white resin behind this? Would the colors have been as pastel-y as what they are here? Or, because I added a little bit more of the mica powder to the mold before I poured the black, would the colors have been more vibrant? You would probably have noticed the colors better because I would have used a white background versus the black that I used here. But how much of a difference? Again, it's another test I could run. I could play with that and see what happens, just because then you will see the progression of what happens with different colors. Or if you've got the tools to do this yourself, you do a piece at home on your own. Just wanted to, add this to the video so that you could see what I had done. And I can let you see the back. The back, as I said, is just glaring, but black. That's it. That's what I've got for now. I just wanted to add this to the video. Have a great day. Take care and bye for now.